Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
It's hard enough to see the house collapse, never mind it being demoed without knowing it was happening.
The damage from last August's flooding still devastates one neighborhood tonight. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Tonight, an Oxford mom is in tears. She tells us she was shocked to see her home demolished without any notice from the town. Randy Marcuccio lost her home in the floods in August of last year. She's been trying to salvage what little family memories have remained in that rubble.
Fox 61's Stefan Reels caught up with the single mother, where she battled tears and worries about how she could potentially lose everything.
When we first introduced you to Randy Marcuccio, she was picking up the pieces of her home after the August floods dislodged it from its foundation right up this road. And on Friday, she had to see her home get destroyed for a second time.
Come here. It's okay.
Blindsided and shattered.
It's okay. I'm sorry, Mommy. I'm sad.
Friday afternoon, Randy Marcuccio watched as contractors demolished what little was left of her Oxford home. Her home she raised her son in. Her home, which was destroyed in the August floods.
There's 40 years of my life just being dragged away with nothing I can do or say.
Marcuccio said this demolition came out of nowhere, and she only discovered it was happening when she drove to pick up her son from school.
I knew the property would have to come down at some point. I just was unaware it was going to be today.
Marcuccio said she wanted to do this demo on her own terms. The Fox 61 team reached out to the town of Oxford's attorney, and they told us they had spoken with Marcuccio's attorney several times about how the property needed to be demolished after it was destroyed in the flood. The most recent conversation between the two attorneys was 1 month ago, where the town's attorney said if it wasn't cleaned up, the town would hire someone to demolish it. However, the town's attorney repeatedly avoided our question about whether Marcuccio was given a hard deadline about the demolition or not.
It's heartbreaking, and I think there was still things that I could have salvaged, maybe pictures or something.
But when hope seemed lost, a miracle happened right in front of her eyes.
I really appreciate this. This is amazing.
There was one old one, this book right there.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. This was my mom's. This is really all I really wanted. Thank you so much.
Now Marcuccio waits in limbo to see when the rest of her home may be destroyed and what she'll have to do when she needs to find a new one in a few months.
As hopeless and desperate as I have been feeling, I still thank everybody who has helped.
During our interview, some of the crew members out here actually approached Marcuccio and I and told us that it would really only take one more day to complete the demolition. But that's really all going to be depending on how bad the snow is over the weekend. But for now, in Oxford, Stefan Reels, Fox 61.
All right, Stefan, thank you. Boy, good luck to her. All right, turning to the weather now, we are expecting a snowy Sunday.
Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank to time it all out for us. Rachel.
Yeah, the snow is going to get underway during the afternoon on Sunday, and it will wind down a little bit after midnight into Monday morning. So by the time you wake up on Monday, the snow will have long since passed, but there still could be some slippery roads depending on how much we get. So we're talking about snow coming down, some heavy at times, especially as we head into Sunday evening. That'll slow your travel plans. And yes, we're going to need snow removal and plows out for this one. But first, we've got to get through some rain tomorrow. Now, I put a weather impact graphic together because I wanted to let you know about the timing of this, but we're not expecting any issues from it other than you're going to need an umbrella. This will be between 2 and 8 p.m. tomorrow. It's a quick round of rain coming through, and it just might affect your outdoor plans. 32 right now in Hartford, 27 the current temperature for Meriden. Overnight lows will dip back into the 20s a little bit further to around 30. And then we might actually see numbers climb as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. Heading through the day tomorrow, again, between 2 and 8, we're seeing some of those showers come through, but we are dry all morning long if you want to get stuff done. And then after 8 o'clock, if you have Saturday night plans, you're good to go as well. On Saturday, we're looking at high temperatures that are warmer than today, climbing into the middle and upper 40s degrees as we head through the afternoon, close to 50. So snow is a far thing from our mind, but yes, we are going to get some. And after that snow departs, we are talking about some big time cold. We'll break it all down for you. Your full forecast coming up in just a bit, guys.
All right, Rachel, thank you. And yes, this cold snap will be intense, so the governor's office will activate Connecticut's severe cold weather protocol starting Sunday night and lasting through next Friday. If you or someone you know needs shelter, dial 211 or visit 211ct.org to see where there are warming centers and shelters near you. We have some breaking news out of East Hartford now, where police are investigating a deadly hit and run. Police say a man was hit by a vehicle along Burnside Avenue at the intersection of Long Hill Drive. The driver involved took off from the scene. That area of Burnside Avenue is shut down while police investigate. We have a Fox 61 news crew heading to East Hartford, and we'll bring you any new information as it becomes available. All right, new at 10 tonight, family and friends along with the city of Hartford are remembering the life and legacy of former state representative Annette Carter. Carter passed away earlier this month at the age of 83.
Those closest to her say she'll be remembered for her work on important projects in Hartford. Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot has more on her tremendous legacy.
A trailblazer, advocate, and a person with a no-nonsense attitude are just a few ways many have described Annette Carter, a former state representative from the north end of Hartford. Those closest to her are remembering her fondly and sharing stories that made Carter special.
When she had an opportunity to run for a state rep, I said, go ahead, and I backed her.
She was no-nonsense, an advocate for African American, for Hispanic people, for Native Americans, really just the underdog in the state.
She adopted me and Representative Reggie Beeman as her sons. So she was known as Mama Carter. I learned a lot by being in the legislature through her.
Memories shared from those who knew Annette Carter best. The former state representative for the city of Hartford fought hard for District 7, which is commonly referred to as the north end of Hartford.
One thing she did was the Artists Collective. She helped them out a lot, get funding, because she was on the committee that gave out the money.
At a time when we were thinking about bringing casinos to Connecticut, she worked hand in hand with the Foxwood tribe. They're getting that to come to Connecticut.
Carter was instrumental in so many projects that changed the lives of the people she served in the city of Hartford, including helping get the proper funding to build up the Community Health Services Center on Albany Avenue and revitalize Hartford's Keeney Park.
Kind of helped get the resources to kind of give us the money to begin to fix some of the stuff. The playground and the Keeney Clock Tower.
Brought funding here and built that community center, the clinic on Albany Avenue, just Albany and Garden Street. The North End really didn't have a place for its community to go to see primary caregivers, to see OBGYNs, for children to have pediatricians. So that community center was built on her back.
Last year, the city changed the name of Branford Street to Annette Carter Way as a special honor to the work she accomplished for her city.
She was on the ball. She was a very good state rep. When she wanted something, she fought for it, and she fought hard.
Kim DeBose tells me she and her family will continue on with her grandmother's legacy and will miss her dearly. In Hartford, Kay Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
After 3 days of back and forth, Israel's cabinet has approved a ceasefire deal with Hamas.
Now, this would put a pause on the fighting in Gaza and allow the release of dozens of hostages.
Fox 61's Emma Wolfhorst spoke with activists and advocates in Connecticut and abroad.
Everyone I spoke with told me this moment feels like a sigh of relief, but any hope comes with concern, as many feel the future is still unstable. After 15 months of deadly fighting, a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas has finally been reached.
I'm staying hopeful.
It is really a moment of hope and peril.
Quiet resignation. Okay, the deal is done.
Now we need to see who's going to come out of Gaza alive.
With this deal, fighting could be paused as soon as Sunday. 33 of the 100 hostages who remain in Gaza would be released over the next 6 weeks in exchange for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. The remainder of the hostages would be released in a second phase.
I don't think there's a overall sense of relief that this deal was done, because now that we see the hostages coming out, there's going to be some very bad news for many families. It's hard to see this as some kind of overwhelming victory.
Yehuda Benin's daughter Liat was taken hostage October 7th, but was among the first released in November of 2023. Speaking with Fox 61 from Israel, he called the deal an intense kind of acceptance, grateful to have gotten to this point, but concerned about the future.
It's a deal that's being done in stages. That in and of itself is fraught with problems in terms of Hamas, because they're perfectly capable of calling it all off.
Sam Pudlin with Jewish Voice for Peace has reservations too.
The big question here has always been whether Israel is approaching these negotiations in good faith. They have a long history of striking a deal and then immediately violating it. But any pause in the violence is an opportunity.
An opportunity humanitarian aid groups like Connecticut-based Save the Children are hoping to capitalize on.
We were desperate to actually get warm clothes in and jackets and shoes because, as we've seen over these past 2 weeks, already 7 or 8 babies have died from hypothermia. The ceasefire is really the only way to get humanitarian support and everything else, peace building, etc., to have a chance to succeed.
With the deal expected to stand Sunday, Israeli forces will pull back from many areas and hundreds of thousands of Palestinians will be allowed to return to what's left of their homes. The military campaign has leveled swaths of Gaza with about 90% of the area's population pushed from their houses. Save the Children says their team has 60 trucks in place ready to go for next week. In the studio, Emma Wolforst, Fox 61.
Fire crews are investigating a fire in an abandoned building in Hartford, which spread to an occupied building. It happened on Ward Street around midnight last night. It's just one of the 3 separate fires in Hartford this week. Now the Red Cross is tasked with helping more than 70 people with no place to call home.
And we all know right now, housing is in short demand. So we really are working, what are the resources, where can we send folks, what places are going to be able to come in and help apart from what we do.
Now, the process to become a volunteer for the Red Cross is simple. We'll have more information on our website, fox61.com, if you're interested in learning more.